apart and pin her down and fucking take her if you need. She needs to feel like you can absolutely just like.
What's up, guys? So today we have an awesome video. We have Andrew from Sexual Quantum Leap joining us. And the reason I want to have him on is because, we've done a lot of videos in the past about, everything related to, getting girls into bed and, relationship and lifestyle. But one thing we haven't covered really extensively at all is, how to have you get your sex game on point, like how to give girls these mind-blowing sexual experiences so they come back for round 2, round 10, round 100. So this is the man that's going to break it down for us. What's up, Andrew? Thank you for coming on.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So you want to just give a very quick 30-second overview of what exactly it is that you do?
Yeah, man, sure. I'll just give you the mission of what we do, the why of what we do at Sexual Quantum Leap. It's so men can have mind-blowing sexual experiences with women they care about. That's essentially what we do. We're the sexual education that men never got. The thing is, we're going to either teach there's two types of guys, really. We'll talk about that today. There's one type of man who suffers from premature ejaculation, can't get it up, can't keep it up, can't last long in the bedroom, or he might not even be able to come. That's maybe the first type of guy, and that's about 50 to 60 of the guys who I work with. And the thing is, if that's you, you're not fucked up and you're not broken, because we're being basically told, that's how you are, you're stuck like that for life, but it's not true. The next part of guy is he's more personal development group driven. He might not have any of those performance issues, but he's like, you know what? I just want to be an absolute beast in the bedroom, and I just want to fucking give her the best mind-blowing experience. So they're the two types of guys who I work with. So in short, I'm a sexual education company for men where they never got the sexual education because we never did get a sexual education. Maybe at school it's like, here's how to roll a condom on a banana and don't have sex before marriage. You've been brought up with a Christian upbringing. But I'm here to dispel all that myths so you can have great sex and get over your fucking performance issues as well.
Dude, in America, it's like the old gym teacher that gives you the sexual education talk. It's like the old gym teacher whose lay count is like his wife. That's it. If that, maybe. He's like, yeah. So let's talk about foreplay. Some fucking old man. You fucking know this shit. It's like a homeless guy trying to teach you about money management. Let me tell you about saving quarters. At least that's what it is in America, where the middle school I went to. That's definitely much needed. Okay, so there's a lot of questions, and I'm just going to try to go about this in an orderly fashion. So first of all, I want to go to the why. Why is it important for men to know what the fuck they're doing in bed? And obviously, I know the answer to this, but I just kind of want to hear your thought on this.
Yeah, there's a multitude of reasons, and I'll tie it back to your audience. Say when you guys messaging chicks from Tinder and stuff like that, if you're setting up casual relationships and fuck buddies, what is the main proposition for a woman to stay in your life? You want to be phenomenal in bed. That is 90%, 99% sometimes. It's she's coming back to fuck you. So the thing is, if you're yeah, you're a cool guy and she connects with you, but the thing is she's coming back because it's really good sex. Now, if it's more of a relationship, we'll just say you got the love of your life and you're having this great experience. I always say this, a relationship is the best friend who you fuck. So then you've got your beautiful fucking partner and you're having great sex and you're getting to know her. But if it's just a casual thing, why else would she come back? And not to mention, say you are messaging girls, you might be thinking, you might actually be self-sabotaging yourself or messaging these girls, because I know you have to sexualize sometimes on messages, and that's your to get the girl in that sexual frame. I'll leave that to Alex because that's his specialty, and that's why you guys are here. But if you're sending these girls these sexual messages and then you're feeling so uncomfortable that you can't follow through with what you're saying, then what's going to happen? You might lock up and you go, fuck, she's at your house, and then you freeze and you might have all this performance shit. So I've seen that a lot before. So it's really good to get this shit handled. So then when you're actually sending the messages to the chicks, and you can actually follow through with what you're saying, and you can give her a great experience, and it's great for retention, and then also you can have more pleasure.
That's a good answer. Do you feel like it gives you more confidence? If you know you can fuck the shit out of a girl, do you feel like you're going to be more confident when you're talking to her?
Dude, think about this. If you can walk up to a chick and know you got game, and you can walk up to a chick and you can say what you got to do to get her to the bedroom. But think about this. This is the superpower that I fucking say to dudes as well. The second part of this, one, you can text a chick, you can go up, approach a chick that you want. But the third part is this. You can walk up to a fucking chick and know that you're going to fuck her better than 99% of dudes. It's you have this inner confidence when you walk up to a chick. It's just this. It's the unspoken confidence that you have. It's I'm going to do shit to you that I know you're going to come back and you're never going to have an experience like this again. And that's the experience that my clients have when they actually walk up to a chick of you are in for a fucking night that you're not going to forget. And I know for a fact that no man's going to give this to you. And that confidence alone is like, damn, dude, it's like, doesn't matter how much we talk about it, but it's just like that feeling. And then when you feel that, a woman can also feel that as well.
Yeah. Do you also feel like my theory is that like when you have amazing sex, it's like really, for me, it almost like resets my mind. Like if I'm like on a bad streak, like in terms of just whatever, anything, like I'm in a bad mood and I call one of my booty calls over, or just me and a new girl, and we have like epic sex, like it just resets my mind. Like, do you feel like that by like getting your sex game up, like you can just like you just function at like a better level overall as a person, or is that a stretch?
Oh, dude, it's you know what it is, like anything. When you get really good at texting girls, you just feel like that level of confidence, man, because it comes to the confidence of like learning that skill. Like when you learn just like cold approach, you just feel a lot more like better about yourself. But then also when you actually learn your sex, you go, man, when you're lying naked in such a vulnerable way with a woman, they're naked, you're like, dude, I feel comfortable as fuck. And then I know if I need to turn on the A game, I can give her an experience. So definitely, it's like your confidence levels go fucking through the roof. And you also go, you know what? If I need to put on that experience, I know it's just like even like an ego thing. Let's talk about this, man, because we all think about she's going to brag to her fucking friends about me. Which guy doesn't want a fucking chick bragging to her friends about how good you fucked her? And then you get chicks actually telling their friends, like, this dude fucked me so well and gave me such an experience. Yeah. So yeah, that's the flow-on effect, man. So that's the fun of all this.
Yeah, that makes the easiest situations. Okay, so I want now this is going to be a very complex thing, but why? You know, what's your theory on why are dudes having so many sexual issues? Like, there's so much, like especially in the pickup community, it's like every other guy has erectile dysfunction or busting nut in 30 seconds. Like, you know, why is that so rampant?
I think it's it's a complex thing. I'll give a broad overview as well, man. But the thing is, at the start, man, we're told as men we're fucked up and we're broken. And basically also the pharmaceutical industry, which is it's $1 billion industry, basically going, you need to take fucking pills and you need to take sprays and creams. And if you don't, and you got to take this short-term solution where you don't, and then people get bought into this. I've had guys, man, who are like starting off this, like from like 18 years old all the way up to fucking 50 years old, and they've been told their whole life that they're fucked up and they're broken, then they need to rely on pills, and then it's the psychology behind as well.
Are we talking about like Viagra and Cialis here, or what are we talking about?
Yeah, dick pills, Cialis, Viagra, all that shit, creams, sprays to actually not come too quick. So they get told, like, use this. And what's the agenda of these big pharmaceutical companies? They want you to buy their shit because that's how they make money. So then you buy all this shit, and then you constantly get reliant on it, and then your psychology is relying on these pills and sprays, and then you're thinking, I need something externally of myself, so then I can have a great sexual experience, opposed to like going within and using like natural shit. But in short, the reason as well, man, guys like they're feeling all this pressure. Like sometimes even the pickup community will just talk about that they have to fucking one up themselves to the next fucking dude of the most insane sexual experience sometimes, and it puts that pressure on themselves. And when you have that pressure and that anxiety in the bedroom to like maybe write a lay report other dudes can see, I always talk about this sometimes to pick up dudes, then they go, fuck, I've got to do this really epic shit and one up the dudes, and that's going to shut down their body, and they're not going to have as much pleasure and as much sensation. So it's a lot of that shit as well, like that kind of like I got a bigger dick fucking competition just on the pickup stuff. But not to mention sometimes there's like diet, man, guys not opening up their pelvis and doing like exercises for that. They might go to the gym. But the thing is, sometimes the way guys masturbate as well, man, they're hunched over the computer. And this is actually just good for dudes to know. And I hope this is video so guys can see. They're hunched. Most of the time, guys start masturbating with about 11 and 12, watching porn about that. They're jerking off, hunched over the computer screen. They're fucking tensed up and they're tight as fuck, yeah. And they're like, quickly, I've got to do some work and I'll bust one out. And hopefully mum doesn't fucking walk in and like, she's like, Johnny, dinner's ready. Mom, leave me alone. While there's fucking porn on the computer, like, Mom, I'm about to come. And then they're like, Mom, just leave me alone. I'm coming. And then you actually are coming and you're watching two fucking MILFs on the screen. You bust a nut in fucking, and all your computer screen is absolutely fucking covered in cum, and you fucking shut the screen in disgust. And then your whole life, you're beating off. This is what the term I always talk about. You're beating off like a beta male because you're hunched over, and that's like closed body language. And then you're constantly doing that. So you're conditioning your body to beat off like a beta. And then all of a sudden, you're like, that's how your sex life fucking goes. Instead, what you should be doing in short is when you're masturbating, opening up your body, because that's like fucking relaxed body language, and jerking off like you're a fucking G, and then doing it in a relaxed way.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Stop beating off like a beater, and then when you beat off in a confident way, open body language, and do it like really relaxed. That's how you're going to actually build unconscious confidence about your sexuality. This is just giving you broad strokes as well, guys.
Broad
So
strokes. Pun
don't
intended.
beat off, don't beat off like a beater.
Okay, so this leads me back to another thing I want to say. How much of this do you think is psychological? How much do you think is physical? Like when dudes have issues with fucking girls.
Yeah, that's a great question. It really depends on the guy, man. It's all dependent, but I'd say a lot more stems from psychology, because the thing is, I get a lot of men who actually have like that strong religious upbringing as well, and it's probably the same with like the guys who you work with. Religious upbringing: don't do it, don't touch it, don't look at it, it'll fall off. Things like this. Basically, sex should be saved for marriage. When you get brought up with those religious upbringing, it's really hard to shake and break off. And not to mention, like, guys like, oh, it's the same thing as, man, the nice guy syndrome. I've got to treat this woman as like a gentle, fucking delicate flower. Sometimes a woman wants to be treated like a gentle, delicate flower in the bedroom and really caressed and just touched and really looked after. But sometimes she needs to be pinned down and absolutely fucking ravished and fucked like an animal that you are. And that's the difference with all this shit as well, man, because these upbringings, like, you always got to just treat women with respect and touch them nicely. But dude, I because everyone knows me as like this hippie, weird, fucking crazy looking Jesus looking dude, and I get that all the time, and I own it, yeah, and I understand, yeah. I'm like, yeah, man, kumbaya, I just feel sometimes. Some of those chicks are just like, yeah, it's all just about love and peace. But you know what, man? So many of those chicks I've got behind closed doors, man. Like a chick the other day I had, she's like fucking slamming herself. She's like just talking about conscious fucking sexuality and conscious porn. Behind closed doors, man, she's fucking watching RedTube, lesbian fucking porn, and slamming herself with a 9-inch dildo. So it's like, it doesn't matter what it is. It's like, what a woman suppresses and pretends she's not behind closed doors, and she's the opposite. It doesn't matter what it is. And I think that's a big reality shift that guys need to have.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that part. Like I've had numerous experiences with the girls like, I'm a feminist and I think that men should, and then 5 minutes later, call me a dirty little slut, daddy. Tell daddy how much you want this tight little fucking tell your dirty little slut how much you want this tight little pussy. This is daddy's pussy only. I'm just your little whore. I'm just your little fuck doll. Like shit like that. Always cracks me up. This is kind of my theory on this. Let me know if you agree with me on this. I do agree that it really depends on the situation, the person. I think the diet is a big part of it. I think that a lot of people eat like shit, and I think that like fucks up with like just the way your body functions. Like I know, like firsthand, when I used to eat crappy, I would get sick all the time. When I started eating healthy, I completely stopped getting sick, like at all. It was like a huge difference. So I think that's a big part of it. I think hormones are a big part of it. I think that most people, due to shitty diet and a lack of exercise, and all the chemicals and shit that's in the air, their hormones suck. Their testosterone. I think scientifically proven average testosterone levels now are way lower than they used to be. So I think that's a big factor. I do agree that also psychological can be a big part of it, especially if they had a repressed childhood. Also, if they get into that vicious cycle of believing they need like Viagra or Cialis, because this is what I feel like happens. A guy has sexual erectile dysfunction due to some weird fluke one night. He thinks he needs Viagra, or maybe he just takes Viagra because he wants to fucking grill it better, right? Takes Viagra, he gets, a boner, but then next time he's like, oh shit, he's like, I hope I can get hard. I hope I can get hard without Viagra, which creates like the little bit of like that, like anxiety, which lowers the chances of him, actually fucking being able to get hard, and becomes this like vicious cycle where they become psychologically addicted to Viagra. So I do think that can be a part of it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I've always had this story that I talk to guys about. Like right now, Alex, if I just started screaming at you, Alex, get a boner right now. You're going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I would say mission accomplished already, bro.
Yeah.
I've been hard this whole interview.
So the thing is, if Alex got a boner right now, we've got another conversation to have later on. But anyway, the thing is, how many times guys are like in bed with a woman and they're like in their head and they're like, go up, come on, dude. Go up. It's time to fucking party. There's this chick in front of you. Make it happen. I actually had a guy I was talking to once, and I said to him this. I go, man, he goes, I'm struggling to get it up. I go, no man has trouble fucking getting it up. The reason is, if I told you right now to watch your favorite porn, you'd be able to get it up like that because it's your association with sex. Not to mention, this guy had, there was these two girls he was seeing. One girl he could get it up no problems, and another girl he couldn't, yeah? So he was fucking talking to this one girl, and he's like trying all the techniques and stuff I taught him. He was practicing all that. He goes, dude, it's worked perfect, I love it, yada, yada, all that shit. The second girl that he was with, he couldn't get it up. He goes, oh man, I'm struggling to get it up with this girl. Is there something wrong with me? I go, no, it's not. Can you watch your favorite porn and get it up? Yes. Can you watch it with your other girl? Can you get up? Yes. Then why can you not get it up here? He goes, I'll be honest, man, I'm not really into that chick that much, and the chemistry's not really there, and I'm kind of trying to do techniques that you taught me to practice. And I'm like, all right, listen here, bro. Imagine this. If I rocked up at your house right now wearing a fucking dress and let my hair out and long, and I go on and give it to me, bad boy, are you going to get it up? And he goes, no.
Yes.
I go, yeah. And so I was like, yes. I go, are you going to get it up, big boy? He goes, of course not. I go, then why the fuck are you going to get it up with a chick who you're not into? What's the difference between me wearing a dress or a chick you're not into wearing a dress? He goes, it's a good point. I go, so stop fucking chicks who you're not into and stop pretending that you're trying to do techniques, because you know what? The chances of Alex having a boner right now, me having a boner right now, is fucking exceptionally low. And if you think you're going to get it up because you're forcing yourself to get it up, it's about 50%, but we'll go with that. But you guys get what I mean.
Right. No, that's a very interesting point. I agree with that. So what do you think, what in your opinion is like the solution? Like what can guys do to like basically, start solving this issue?
Well, number one thing is, just because it's like more for your audience as well, stop fucking girls who you're not into. That's one point. Just like, if you're like, you're doing this because I'm doing this for an external reason so then I can tell my buddies about this. If you're doing it from that point, it's actually going to actually fuck with your psychology big time, because you're like, now that extra added pressure to tell a story that hasn't even happened, and then you might embellish the story in the future, so then you can go, this happened, so then you can look better to your mate. So if you're doing that on a really deep unconscious level for validation, let's just say, stop fucking doing that shit.
Dude, sorry, yeah. I just want to comment. I 100% agree with that one. I've noticed, like, even with myself, like, I like big titty, fat ass, like Latinas, right? That's what I'm into. What I'm not into is like tall, skinny girls. I find them like, I can recognize that they're beautiful in like a classical way, right? Like I can appreciate their beauty, but they don't do anything for me sexually, really. So I've had numerous opportunities to like hook up, like where it would have been really easy for me to hook up with like a tall, model-looking girl. I would always like pass that up, really. Like I would show no interest. My buddies would be like, come on, dude, she's hot. I'm like, she's pretty, but like she's not going to do much for me sexually. I need that big titty Latina, like, So yeah, 100% agree with that. Like, it shouldn't be it should be what actually sexually turns you on. You should be able to like whatever kind of porn you watch is probably the shit that turns you on. More or less. Sometimes you're just watching porn just to be extreme, but I will comment on that. So anyway, sorry, I just wanted to get that in there.
No, that's cool. I was just also going to say, man, like, so it's that point of like fucking girls you're actually into. But the thing is, man, me and you have the most pressure out of everyone, like, especially me, man. Like, you're doing it as well because you are like fucking these girls and you're like doing your reports and whatever have you. Like, think about this. When I'm putting out there online, like being the best a woman's had inside and outside the bedroom, that's a big fucking claim. And not to mention, like, yeah, sometimes girls do see that. And when they do see that, like, they're lying on the bed now. And then sometimes I've had like, man, a dozen times now at least, girls like, best she ever had, huh? What have you got, big boy? So I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go, So then I sometimes feel that fucking pressure of like, I've got to fucking perform. So then like there's a two-edged sword. So if you're not doing it because you're not doing it for like validation, or you're doing it to like trying to like be the man and tell other people, but you might be, I'm fucking just nervous as fuck because you know what? I've got this chick in the bed now. I feel like I have to put on the pressure because you might want to see her again. You know what I do to take the pressure off myself? I actually say to the chick, I go, you know what? This is not for her. It is for her, but it's a paradox because it's for me and her, but it's mainly for me so I can relax. Because sometimes I feel that pressure, like I've got this chick, I want to see her again. And the thing is, you don't have to give her the best fuck in the first time to actually be able to see her again. What I realized is when you can really make a woman feel relaxed, comfortable, open and safe and non-judged on the first meeting, then she actually wants to see you again, and then you can actually build it up and you can actually give her a pussy massage and actually just tantalize her body in ways that no other man has done before, using your hands, your fingers, or maybe even sex toys, or even doing role play and shit like that, and doing verbal dominance and verbal fucking dirty talk can actually really turn her on psychologically so much that she actually wants to see you again, that she's actually never had a sexual experience where she feels so expressive about who she is as a woman and her sexuality. Now, in saying that, when I'm with a woman in bed and I got that first experience, sometimes I say this, and I say it like pretty much line for line, something like this, and something along the lines of like, yo, I just want to let you know, let's just play tonight. Let's just explore. There's no pressure. I just want to like let you know. I just know there's no feeling like, oh, you have to come or we have to do this like crazy shit. I just like really want to enjoy the night. And like, yeah, let's see how the night flows. I'll say something like that. So I take the pressure off myself of feeling like I have to orgasm. I have to give her this great experience. And then the thing is, how many times women come to the fucking bedroom feeling like they have to perform, that they have to make all these fucking orgasm noises and do all this shit. So it takes the pressure off her, takes the pressure off me. And then when that pressure is completely taken off, man, shit gets so real because now we can both enjoy the experience instead of like feeling like we both have to perform. So I call it presence, not performance. So we're being actually like enjoying the moment, enjoying the sexual experience. And then you actually get to feel more pleasure. And then she actually gets to feel more relaxed, which she actually wants to see you again because she's around a cool guy where she can open up fully about her sexuality.
That's a very interesting and good point. Well, what are some other components you think in addition to that?
Okay, so then the actual practical, what I do.
No, in terms of like, we'll get into that, but in terms of guys like, who have sexual issues, like getting past that, like what can they do?
Yeah, I'll actually tap into the practical now. So what I do is when you've got, say, premature ejaculation or erectile dysfunction, I do this, man. I actually just lay down on the bed and I actually just kiss her, I just kiss her deeply. It sounds weird. It's like, oh, well, you tell me to fucking kiss chicks. Like, no, focus on like just kissing her, enjoying the kissing, and play with her neck, touch her body just gently, and really enjoy that. And you can start seeing that building up sensation. She might like that feeling of being pinned down and thrown down, but she wants to feel that safety, and that safety is brought up by that slowness at the start and deeply fucking kissing her and touching her and holding her, even like pulling the back of her hair, running your hand through the back of her hair, and then when you do that, pull it gently and then do it a little bit more tighter, and you can start feeling that tension of what she likes, and then you're doing that play. And when you're being playful, messy, and explorative in the bedroom at the start with no expectations, and she doesn't feel any expectations, you're turning your body on. Because as men, it's bullshit, man. We're basically told, you're a man, you get a boner like this, where it's absolute bullshit. It's like, allow your body to start getting turned on and doing things that you turn you on, and then it's going to turn her on because she can see that you're getting turned on. When a woman can see that you're getting turned on, it usually allows her to relax and get turned on herself as well, because she can see that is essentially leadership and dominance, because she goes, you're taking control and going for what you want.
Okay, that's a very good point. Is there any other recommendations you would have?
What I do is, like, I have a chick and then she's laying there. I scratch her body and I just kiss her on the neck, her erogenous zones, and a really good one as well. You can kiss her like here to up here, and usually I say this. I usually kiss a girl gently, and 95% of the time, what you'll do, if you do that right, you kiss or you do a little bit of biting there, and what will happen when you do that to a chick, 90 to 95% of the time, it'll send goosebumps down her body. And then what you can say, you can grab her by the back of the head, pull her close, and you'd be like, I found your spot. And it's a good open loop. And she's like, how did you know? Because fucking 95% of girls like get goosebumps, and you can actually call out that you see goosebumps running down her body. And when you do that, she's getting so turned on. And then when a woman can feel that you understand her body and you know her better sexually than any other man, that's when you can start going into the category of that 1% fucking dude who knows her sexually better than any other man. And then she starts letting go and start relaxing. And then she starts being more submissive and opening up. So then you can start doing crazy shit in the future.
That's interesting you say that. My whole thing has always been that in terms of this, that a woman has, there's going to be three possibilities for her spot. It's going to be either the ear, the neck, or the collarbone. It's going to be one of those, like 99% of the time. So typically what I'll do is I'll start kissing the neck. If that doesn't do the trick, collarbone, then ear. And one of those, I just look at her reaction. One of those, her eyes will light the fuck up. And that's like, so it's pretty similar to exactly what you're saying. What do you think about stuff like shock? Are you guys familiar with shockwave treatments? Like, that thing that they put on your dick, and it's like a natural, more or less, treatment for erectile dysfunction.
Man, I actually don't know too much about that, so I'd just be guessing. I can look into it and get back to you on that. But as I said, I want to let your audience know as well. Everything that I'm teaching you dudes has been through extensive mentorship that I've gained, and then extensive application. So I only teach people stuff that I've learned. So everything I'm teaching has been extensive knowledge that I've actually implemented.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it. I mean, like, yeah, I always, like, when people try to teach shit that they're not experienced in, like, not to put that, well, I'm not going to use his name, so it's okay. But this person, like, emailed me and he was like, hey, man, do you want to work together on a project I'm doing? It's about teaching guys how to be successful on Instagram. Well, like, I've seen his Instagram and it's dog shit. I'm like, well, how are you teaching people to be successful when you suck at it as well? So yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that.
But in the shockwave stuff, man, I actually don't know. There's a lot of other stuff that I teach about that, but I'd have to look into that more, man.
The shockwave is interesting. I actually had that done. So I have a buddy who runs a practice, a medical practice, and I sent him a few referrals. So he was like, "Yo, man, we got this shockwave machine in the office. Come on in, we'll have it applied." It's not the guy applying. It's like a hot. It's like a cute nurse applying it. She wasn't hot, but she was decent looking. So basically, it's like this machine. They put it on your dick and balls for 10 minutes, and it fucking sends like these like I don't know, these like waves at it, and it hurts a little bit. But dude, like I remember for like a week, I had the craziest fucking boners. Like I was actually had a somewhat of a girlfriend at the time, and she was like, "Holy shit, what's going on with you lately?" So it was pretty interesting. I from everything I've read and heard, I've never done this, but stem cells are supposed to like just fucking be like a game changer for guys. But anyway, that's a whole different aside. So the second thing I want to touch on is what can guys do to be, we kind of touched on this a little bit, taking the pressure off. But what are some other things guys can do to give girls the ultimate sexual experience?
It's a great point. I'm actually going to go through a triangle that I talk about, man. Not the Illuminati, but just a triangle. So it is your sexuality, her sexuality, and our sexuality. Uh-huh. There's 3 different types of sexuality. The first fucking level of sexuality is the guy who goes, you know what, I'm just going to put it in and come as quick as I can. And usually that guy the chick doesn't want to see again because you just feel you're just in it for just your pleasure alone and you don't give a fuck about the girl. That's the first level. The second level is this. You're the guy who's just trying so hard to please the woman and you'll do anything to please that fucking chick because you really want to see her again and she can feel like that neediness and that validation kind of seeking mentality. The third stage is this, the triangle, yours, hers, and ours. And your sexuality is this. Your sexuality is understanding your sexuality about what you like. So if you're a guy listening to this right now, I want you to like sit down with a pen and paper and actually write down what you like and not judging yourself and actually write out a day that you would like to explore with a woman and what that would look like about what would turn you the fuck on and not trying to think what would turn her on because you got to start getting into touch with who you are and what you like and things like this. Another practical thing I recommend guys do just on your sexuality is this. Instead of beating off like a beater where you're like over and you're hunched over, I want you to start relaxing your body, maybe lying on the bed. I've actually got an audio I can send to you guys as well, man. That's like a 10-minute audio they can do 2-3 times a week. And it's a relaxation audio to start getting more in touch with their sexuality because the way you masturbate is the way you fuck. And if your whole life you've been masturbating like a sprinter, how the fuck are you meant to last as a marathon runner? Sorry, I can.
Do you find that's true? Because I know, like for myself, I can personally say that like my jerk off sessions last like 2-3 minutes. My fucking sessions last, longer than that.
Yeah.
Am I like the anomaly or what's the?
Yeah, well, most men. The thing is, if you're training your whole body to like do that your whole life, the thing is,
that's definitely me.
Yeah. But I can have a quick whack-off session as well now, but at the same time, I also know that I've actually trained myself that I can prolong as well. So it's like, It's a bit of column A. But most dudes, they're like doing like this, so then they get to the bedroom and they're like, why am I fucking coming too quickly? Or why I coming too quickly? Or they can't, some men actually can't come at all because it's a psychology thing. Because if you can't come at all, just for those men right now on this point, if you can't come at all, it's usually you're thinking, oh, when's this going to end? Or hope this, is she liking this stuff? So it's an internal fucking inner game of sexuality. It's a strange phenomenon that I started to look into, man, at the start of all this. Like, men can't come. What do you mean? It's because they're actually got so much pressure on themselves that they have to give this woman this fucking epic cum shot at the end. And then they have that pressure. And if they don't, then they're not fucking a real man or something like this. So the first one is like getting to know their sexuality, like writing down their story and then doing the masturbation thing. And then they can start practicing. What's going to do is, well, man, regardless of what you said, which is cool, but at the same time, they're going to feel a lot more pleasure by actually breathing more deeply into their abdominals and opening up that part. The second part is this, to be the best woman's had, is actually understanding what she likes. I always say this, having a sex survey, talking to her after sex, and really not being afraid to like get constructive feedback about what you've done. I never ask a woman this. As I said, I'm just giving you a really broad overview so I can really like distill as much as I can in this interview. It's like, I always try and like go and talk to a woman and like say, hey, give me feedback. And I ask for like a sex survey. And what I do, I'm not afraid to like get feedback. And when I'm getting feedback, I don't say to her, oh, was it good? Because if you're fucking your chick and you ask, is it good? She's always going to say yes because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings. What you want to do is when you're in bed with a woman, you want to go higher, faster, higher, lower, faster, slower. And they're usually really two that I go to. Higher, lower, faster, slower, or And then you can actually start getting the more detailed range about what you're doing. Yeah, or stronger or softer. You're starting to do that. You want me to go a bit softer, harder or softer? And then when you're asking these things, she can actually start giving you feedback right there on the spot. And when you're with the first time with a woman, don't be afraid it's going to be messy and it's going to be a bit of a technician, because you're actually finding out what her pussy likes and what her body likes. Because then when you find out what her fucking body actually likes, then the sex is going to only get better time and time again. And what you got to remember, every fucking pussy is different and every single woman is different. So don't think, oh, this woman like that, so this woman must like that. It's like, it's every woman's different. And the thing is, the only reason that we become the best a woman's had with doing this is because I'm willing to ask the hard questions that men aren't willing to ask, and I'm willing to say the hard things that men aren't willing to say. In the respect, I'm willing to ask her what she likes that most men feel uncomfortable to ask, and I'm willing to say the hard things about what I want and what pleases me and what I find pleasurable that most men are fucking shy away from. Now, the third part of ours, and I'll wrap this up, this point, is yours, hers, ours. When you get to ours, it's like, now you've expressed what you like and you understand that. She's expressed what she's like and you're giving her full permission to open up. The third part is ours. Now you go, your two bodies can be more synced up and you can fucking be, I call this, it's two bodies moving in like a rhythmic dance, because you get to fucking understand exactly what each other likes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I have 2 cheat codes that I want to share with guys. So the first cheat code is going to be kratom. So I've personally done kratom many times, but basically it's like a herb. For anyone who's not familiar with it, you buy it online, whatever, and it will make you last longer, right? Like 100%. It's not really designed for that. It's supposed to be like it's supposed to be for pain relief and all that shit, and actually can make you more productive. I'm a huge proponent of kratom in general. I don't know. Have you ever tried it?
No, what is it called? Kratom.
Kratom. It's actually big in. You're in Indonesia right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's big over there. They actually grow it there.
Cool.
Yeah, it's super fucking awesome. I love kratom. So kratom in moderation, of course. The second one, so that's going to help you last longer. And then the second, it also can make the sexual experience like. I remember a week ago, I got my booty call to try kratom for the first time in her life, and we were both like kind of like fucked up on kratom. It was just like a very primal, crazy experience. She was like, "What the fuck just happened?" I'm like, "I know," and like it's like fucking already 2 a.m. or something like that. It's like, holy shit, the whole night is gone. I'm like, I don't know. I just saw a titty and then I just acted. The second is I think that having the Hitachi magic wand, like a vibrator, is really good for like a cheat code for making women come. So typically what I'll do is if I'm fucking a girl, some girls, come a lot easier than other girls. Like some girls, a lot more of a challenge is if it's one of those girls who's really hard for her to come, like I will put the Hitachi on her clit while I fuck her, and that does the trick like almost every time. Like usually it'll either make them squirt or make them come really hard. Like I've had numerous girls who were like, my first ever orgasm outside masturbation was with you. Like, and they attribute that experience to you, when in reality it was mostly the toy. You're just the one that like fucking put it on her. So I think that's another big thing in terms of that. Those are like 2 little things I can think of off the top of my head. So one thing I do want to ask you, so have you ever read the book Sex God Method?
I actually haven't, man. I've flicked through that. So I get told, so I actually should read that, but I actually haven't. But on the note, man, of the wand, I actually call that the orgasm wand, because that's basically what it is. It's one of the best fucking toys, man. And that's when every time people go, the one toy I always recommend, it is that one right there. So 100% agree, man. So, dude,
Get awesome. I have it on my night table, so when I bring a girl back to my room, even if we're not hooking up yet, she'll like see it. It's like fucking this giant dildo, and she'll be like, what's that? I'm like, oh, you want to see it, huh? Like, and so like people will ask me the question, what do? Do you hide it? Or like, it's kind of big, I'm like, dude, I just leave it right on my nightstand, right there in the open. I want the girl to see that thing right away, and then it's always plugged in, and then she'll be like, what is that? And sometimes, like, they don't want to address it, like, catch them looking at it from the side of their eye. I'm like, oh, what are you looking at? She'll be like, nothing. I'm like, no, what are you looking for? And then I play dumb. I'll be like, oh, this thing. Fucking bust out, like, the Hitachi magic wand. There's a lot of fun and games you can do with that.
Yeah.
Oh, this thing.
Pretend it's a microphone as well. That's the cool one, man.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I'll be like, it's a back massager. Look. Yeah, you just use it for your back. And then you can use it for your, and then, like, I'll bring it lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what I want to touch on is Sex God Method. That was a big book that like kind of really, I would say, influenced my sex game. And so one of the things that the guy Daniel Rose talks about in that book He talks about like the four, I guess the four pillars of whatever the ultimate sexual experience. So he talks about, and I might butcher this a little because it's been a while since I read it. I remember the first one is dominance, right? So he just makes the argument that women love a dominant man. The second is variability, right? Some women don't want to do the same thing over and over again. They want like excitement, variability. The third is maybe it was three. I remember there's two more. There's dominance, variability. I think one of them might be like comfort or something like that, or just for a girl to be able to like feel comfortable and like not judged. So what's your take? What are like the pillars of like, like giving a girl the ultimate sexual experience?
Yeah, I'll sum it up into three things that I talk a lot about. One of the categories I talk about, it's safe, scared, and sexual. Now, so this is the first one is this: a woman has to feel comfortable with you. She has to feel like you have her best interests at heart, and everything is coming from a place like you really care about her, and that you're always going to look after her no matter what. Yeah, when she can feel that, that is essentially dominance, because dominance is love. Dominance is making a woman feel safe and comfortable in your presence. Dominance essentially is leadership. So then when she can feel that, she can actually let go and be submissive to you. If you can't have the first one, that's why I said safe, then she's not going to fucking like really let go and relinquish that fucking power. And then she'll just give you a lot of those quote unquote shit tests and just a lot of fucking bullshit. And then she won't be able to have full amounts of sexual pleasure because she can't actually just give herself to you. So that's the first one, safe. Now, scared, you might be thinking like, why the fuck do you want to make a woman feel scared? The thing
is, come now, bitch.
Yeah, you better come. If you don't, yeah, all that shit. So scared is basically she wants to feel that you can rip her the fuck apart if you need to. Like, we're all animals. We're like, let's just say we're a spirit and we're an animal. Let's just say, keep it really simple. Your animal is your fucking physical body. She wants to know, she has to know unconsciously that you can rip her apart and pin her down and fucking take her if you need. She needs to feel like you can absolutely just like take her. If she can't feel that you can do that, basically if she just feels like you're that nice guy who doesn't have that attribute, basically she wants to feel that she needs to feel that you have that inside of you. Not that you would ever do that, not that you would ever hurt a woman. And everything is done with consent, just want to make it clear, and everything is done between two adults who really want to be there. That's consent essentially. But she needs to feel that you can fucking, like, if you need to turn it on. For example, you're down this is just like the one I always use. You're walking down the street, say you have a kid and you got your daughter and you're walking there, she wants to feel your most loving, gentle fucking dad to her, to the door of your kid. But then if a fucking robber comes up to you and starts confronting you, she wants to know that you can beat the fuck out of that robber in a second, and that you can like switch it on. So she needs to feel that you're that fuck. I always say she wants to feel that you're loving Care Bear, but then she also wants to feel that you're that black bear that can switch it on and really bring out that primal animalistic instinct that can rip shit apart. 100%. She needs to get. If she doesn't feel scared around you, I don't say in terror or fear. I'm saying she doesn't feel that scared, like, oh my god, she can't submit. And if a woman, and this is where guys go into this. Guys try and always get love and be friends with a woman. But if a woman doesn't respect you because you don't make her feel safe and scared in the respect that she can fucking let go and she can feel that you're fucking strength as a man and that you're not fucking willing to fucking deal with bullshit and have strong boundaries as well, all ties into that. As I said, I'm giving you an overview of this, but that's what it is. If she can't feel that, she can't respect you. Most men go for love first opposed to respect. A woman has to respect you before she loves you. That's bottom line. Now, safe, scared, and sexual. Number 3, it's pretty fucking obvious. She has to feel that you're comfortable with your sexuality, and that's where it goes into the other triangle of yours, hers, and ours. She has to feel that you're so comfortable with your sexuality, you can express it, you can open up about it, and then when you can do that, that's when she's going to really open up about her sexuality.
Okay, that's interesting. I agree with that for sure. I think that where do you think variability would fit in on this spectrum?
What do you mean? Sorry?
Variability, because I think, girl, if you're doing the same thing, like say you fuck once and it's like,
but
then you're doing the same thing over and over again, it kind of becomes a little boring, So where do you feel like variability fits in?
Yeah, it's a good question, man. I actually did a talk last night on this, like variability, because a lot of guys actually ask this question, variability, about like, oh, cool, I've got to. If you're a guy who's constantly thinking that you constantly have to change this shit up, but what happens if you're really fucking, both of you are really enjoying doing the same position and the same act in the bedroom? What variability actually is not actually changing it up and doing consistently different things. Is a lot of people don't have the fucking the way that they can vocally express themselves of saying what they want to do, what they want to explore, or they just like go, oh, we have to kind of do things because we're fucking told from external people. Like, we have to keep changing up, doing new things. But if I like a certain position, like a chick's laying on her tummy, she got a pillow under her fucking stomach, and I'm liking that and she's loving that, why do I have to change up the position because we're really enjoying that? Only change it up if you actually want to change it up because you do that. The reason she's going to get bored is because you can't vocalize and tell her that you like this and you really enjoy this. And then when she says that, why change shit up if you're both really fucking getting so much pleasure from that position because both your bodies meld into that position and you really enjoy that? The variability doesn't come from like, oh, we have to change positions or do this new fucking thing. It comes from the non-expression of actually saying what you like with that person and keep exploring that with that person.
That's very true. That makes sense to me, man. I will add that like I feel like a lot of guys, especially like newer guys who are getting into pickup, they feel like they have to do like, what's like the typical pickup guy fantasy? Threesome, right? Like, yeah, fuck. That's like the pinnacle of pickup success, like having threesomes, right? And dude, when I was first getting into game, I thought that was like, that's gonna be awesome. Like, it was like unimaginable. Wait till I get a point where I can have a threesome. But then I had a threesome. I had another threesome. And I realized that like it's fun for the validation reason. It's like an interesting experience. I enjoyed it. I have like no regrets about all the group sex experiences I've had. But like I prefer just having sex with a girl one-on-one. What's another one? Like anal, right? Like everyone's like, oh, how do you convince a girl to let her fuck you in the ass? Like I tried fucking a girl in the ass, and I prefer fucking her in the pussy. Feels a lot better to me. So like, the point isn't to say that those things you should do those things. I just like you have to like. It kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier. You have to figure out what it is that you want and just be comfortable with what you want. Like for me personally, one of the biggest turn-ons is eye contact. As boring as it sounds, I really like it when like me and the girls just stare each other in the eyes. Like that's what I'm into. Every girl I hook up with, like I'm gonna be like, open your eyes, look at me, look at me, look at me. Like that's what I'm doing because that's what like the biggest thing for me. So I think that a big part of it is also just again like going back to like being comfortable with what you want, not judging yourself. Either if it's too fucked up or too boring. Like I tried some fucked up shit. I'm not really that into the fucked up shit. It's funny, it's interesting, but like I prefer like something like that, like in terms of personal.
On that note with the fucked up shit, I just want to say there's nothing, as long as it's between two consenting adults.
Yeah,
there's nothing fucked up or wrong about what you want to do, explore sexually. Because some people, and I know you're not saying this, but some guys think like, and if you are guys, like think, oh, this is fucked up, this is weird, I shouldn't be exploring this. They go, who says it's weird or fucked up about exploring something that may turn you on? It's your body, it's your pleasure. Explore what turns you on. And if it turns the other person on as well, and you're really enjoying that same thing over and over and over and over and over again, keep doing that shit until it fucking changes. And you go, actually, let's explore something different because we both mutually want to do this. And it goes overarching.
Your chest tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can do it on mine and we go back and forward. But the overarching thing is this, like, I don't like saying this because it's so fucking, I'm like, it's communication. And we could do a whole fucking talk. I just lost my headphones. But we could do a whole talk just on communication. But we're basically touched on it today of like going, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is where I'm at. And then when you can actually clearly articulate that and keep diving deeper, the sex doesn't get worse over time. It gets fucking better. The more that you connect with the girl, the eye contact and deepens, and then you can have better sex. And then you're thinking variability. The fucking variability comes by the depth of the connection and sexual connection that you have with the person.
Yeah, I agree with that. The one caveat I would say to that is if the shit that you want to try is, so I agree with that with this caveat. If the shit you want to try is something like having her put a strap on and fuck you in the ass, or you wearing her underwear. Because I feel like I've hooked up with numerous girls who are like, so what, you're sex coaches, I mean, you're into some crazy shit? I'll be like, I don't know, like I like to choke. I'll probably choke you and slap your ass really hard, but that's about it. And then like I've had girls be like, you wouldn't want to wear my panties? I'm like, what the fuck? No, I don't want to wear your panties. Like, oh, my ex used to do that. I found it really weird. So there are some things in that spectrum I feel like could make a girl lose respect if you're like doing feminine shit.
Yeah, the thing is that could open a whole new can of worms, man. Because I've done that before, just even fucking as a joke, man. Like put on your chick's panties and play it around. But the thing is, I did it as a joke and had fun. But the thing is, if you're constantly like in that frame and you're just like doing that, and you're playing around in that, and you're a very feminine guy, and you don't have that strong boundaries, and you're not doing it in the place you're coming from, so trying to do it to impress her, all this fucking shit. But the thing is, if she can feel that you're strong, dude who knows what he wants and he's clearly articulates that, and then she can knows that they said, let's do the safe, scared, and schedule the triple S's. When she can really feel that you have that strong fucking aspect of who you are, then that's cool and you can own your sexuality. And the thing is, sometimes women might not be into the shit that you're into, or you're not into the shit that a girl's into. Because even this, man, I've had guys that go, dude, this chick wants me to choke her and slap her and do some really crazy shit. Or like even just like take it a way step back. Some guys are like, dude, she wants me to blindfold her and she wants me to like do this shit to her. I don't feel comfortable. So to the guys who are just watching that, who are just starting out of this, if you don't feel comfortable doing something, bottom line, don't fucking do it. There's pushing your comfort zone, and I get that as well. But at the same time, if you're not really she's like, as Alex said, if she's like, shit on my chest, and it could happen, and you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that at all. And don't think it's going to be a funny story for your mates. It could be a funny story, but I'm like, it's just going to make you feel fucking really uncomfortable. Don't.
Mom, guess what happened the other night?
Yeah.
I went out to try out some of the playing with fire strategies, and now I'm covered in poo-poo.
Yeah. It's so yeah, all that stuff, man.
I want to ask you one more question I thought of as we were talking. I think an issue a lot of guys have, and I am partially guilty of this as well, is that they get like bored of fucking the same girl, right? Like, so like you fuck a girl a few times, the sex is really good, and then it gets better as you get to know each other. But after a month or so, it just like the girl's still just as attractive. It's not like she gained weight. You know, she's in fact you guys know each other better, but because that like excitement is gone, almost like that, I don't know, that new personal excitement, like you get less into the sex. Like I can tell you, like from a personal story, the last girlfriend I had, like awesome person, loved hanging out with her, and we still always had good sex, but like the first few months it was like insane. But then like once that variability went away, like it was still good, but it wasn't great. So what do you think is like what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's the thing is, man, sometimes you're going to be with a woman, it might be a one-night thing, it might be a two-night thing, it might be a year fuck buddy that you catch up. The thing is, there's so many variables to that as well, like your sexual compatibility and stuff like that. And some guys are like, how can I keep the sexual tension alive with us? There's a lot of like, there's a lot of things you can do, but sometimes, man, like just in short, sometimes you're not going to feel it more. Sometimes like it was just a great night that you had with a chick and you don't really feel that connection anymore. Or you know what? Sometimes like, when I fuck a chick, I actually want to get to know her as well and like, have a good chat. It's like, that's what I'm saying. Sexuality is your best friend who you fuck. So sometimes I just like hanging with the chick, giving her a bit of shit. She gives me a bit of shit. We have great sex. Sometimes she's really feminine and we just fuck like champs and things like that. So it really depends, man. So in that, it's a big one. But I'm like, if you're not really into it anymore, it's fucking cool. Like it's okay. Sometimes what they actually do is like it's a bit of a left fucking concept. Like you can actually, not a left concept, it's more like a wayward concept of like actually holding, like not coming so much with a chick and you're actually holding that tension in your body. And then you actually, it's like, and also they have it for the, that personal development book, which is called, what is it called? Think and Grow Rich, where you actually don't come and you actually use that for purpose direction stuff. If you don't come with a chick sometimes, you're actually more attracted to her because you feel that tension building through your body. But that's a big topic in itself. But in short, man, if you're not into a chick and you like fuck her a few times, you're like, hey, dude, I'm not feeling this, and you're opening up about what you like to do sexually and you're getting to know her and it's not compatible, then hey, maybe it's time to move on.
Yeah, I mean, my kind of take on that is I agree with that. But if it's like, like me personally, I can recognize it like, okay, this, like when we first met, the sex was at like a level 10. Now the sex is like 11, 7.5, right? She hasn't changed. I haven't changed. In fact, everything else has gone better. Our connection is better. Or, we have more in common. We've opened up to each other, blah, blah, blah. So at that point, like, I'm like, okay, like it's just like part of it is that the excitement has sort of gone away. How can I like amp up the excitement? Like, oh, I'll fuck her on my balcony, or like, oh, I'll tie her up, or like, oh, I'll do like a lot of edging where I'll get her close to coming, but then I won't let her come. Or like, oh, I'll do like the whole, fucking massage fantasy. Like, I'm here for massage, like shit like that. So I think that can also like be a big part of it, is just like switching things up in terms of things that you're into.
Yeah. And then when you do that, you start doing that. Guys, like, oh, how can I spice it up? I just go, what do I want to explore today? I don't always think like, oh, I did this in the past with this chick. What am I feeling like doing today? And today, do I feel a little bit more soft and want to light some candles and do a bit more of a massage? Or do I actually want to fucking get down and dirty and like fucking wrestle this chick and like fuck her like a wild animal? It really depends on the day, the moods, the seasons, and also how you're feeling and did you have a big day at work, you can't be fucked, or just want to get a blowjob and go to bed. Sometimes it really depends on the situation with what you've got with the girl, psychology, where you're at. Like, there's all these different variables as well. So yeah, it's a lot of variables, different depending on the guy, depending what he likes. So yeah, it's cool, man. It's a good overview.
Yeah. One other thing I want to ask you. What do you think are like the biggest misconceptions about female sexuality? Like, what are guys getting wrong?
That every woman is the same and every pussy is the same.
Oh,
And they
okay.
have to, that like every woman likes the same things, and then every pussy they have to stimulate in a certain way. Some women the pressure is the same for every single woman. Like, and that porn is a great and that porn is real. You know, like kind of like that. As much as guys don't think that porn's real, they sometimes think it's real when they're actually fucking a woman. And not every woman likes to get fucked by a big black 10-inch cock and just pound town for fucking 10 hours. You know, that's a misconception, and that guys actually have to give a woman an experience like that, or she won't come back.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Those are good points, man. So to end it off, what are like your, do you have like maybe like 3 tips that you can give? I know we just touched on a lot of things, but 3 tips, that just can help guys like start fucking stepping up their sex game today.
Yeah, one first one I want to give to guys is this. This is just a mindset thing. This is a shift. I just want to say you're not fucked up and you're not broken. You may be sitting here with like probably at least 50% of the men who are watching this have premature ejaculation or some performance anxiety, or like they can't get up. You're not fucked up. You're not broken. You don't have to rely on pills or sprays or do this shit when you don't have to have this massive cock to be like feel adequate as a man. That's the first one. And I just want to make it really clear from the bottom of my heart, you're not fucked up and you're not broken. Number 2, what you can do, a practical one you can do today, I really want to reiterate this, is actually go practice. Don't beat off like a beater. Actually start opening up and start practicing and changing the way that you start your masturbation habits. And the third one, we'll just tie into what we said at the end, man, because I really want to make that clear. It's like, don't think like just because what you used to do with your ex and how you used to fuck your ex is the way that this new woman likes to have sex. The best thing you can do is get to know your sexuality first. Write down what you like, watch what you like, write a perfect day about what you like and what you want to explore. Then start understanding her, and don't be afraid to ask the hard questions and say the hard things that men aren't willing to ask the hard questions and say the hard things that most men aren't willing to say. And when I say saying the hard things, it's like asking her the questions about her sexuality that most men aren't willing to go there, and that's when you can be the best woman's had.
All fair points, man. All right. So if people want to find you, how can they find your channel? How can they follow your content? How can they learn more about your product?
Yeah, cool, man. I always say this. Always check out my free stuff first, and if that resonates with you, then you can reach out. The best thing you can do, you can get me through Alex, or you can get it through sexualquantumleap.com. Just put that on Google, Sexual Quantum Leap. Send me an email. And actually what we've got at the moment is a free pussy massage guide. I want to teach you how to give women multiple orgasms with your hands tonight. So I've got 4 videos in there that I break it down actually on a doll, and I show you exactly what to do. So then you can actually start stimulating her pussy. And then when you do that, you're actually going to give women insane experiences. So you can download that right now at sexualquantumleap.com. That's probably the best thing to start off with, boys. And then when you get insane, because I know guys get insane results just by doing that. Then after that, if you enjoy the shit, this podcast, and you can just send me a message and we can go from there.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we're going to link everything in the description below. So if you guys want to see this links, just click in the description below, and it's all going to be there. All right, bro. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I think this was a really good interview. Like, we covered a lot of stuff, and I really enjoyed this one, man. So let's do another one of these in the near future.
Yeah, man. Thanks very much for having me.
Thanks for coming on, bro.
Playing with fire. It's better than playing with yourself.